Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna start saying hello now. Okay, it says it's done. So that must mean I'm live. If I'm live and if you all can see me, then hello. I am chopping it up. I always like to chop it up with good people. And so today I'm chopping it up with a good friend of mine who I had the opportunity to a year ago accompany her. She has a beautiful voice on a beautiful India Irie song called Prayer for Humanity. So we're just going to catch up. We haven't talked in a while. I'm actually getting ready to do a track for that song for her because she's going to perform for a holiday virtual function. And so under normal circumstances, I probably would have been playing the piano for her. But because these aren't normal circumstances and we have a new norm when it comes to circumstances, here we are. I'm going to be making a track for her and doing a few things. And so, yeah, but we're getting ready to chop it up. And so, thanks for hanging out with me today. And yeah, she's going to be jumping in on this live stream shortly. While I'm waiting on her, if you can, if you're hanging with me live, drop me a line. Let me know how you are. Also, let me know if you can hear this stream clearly. I'm going to give you some more context as to what this conversation is about. And I just got to go back and copy my invite link. You all know how it is these days working with Zoom and these other kind of things. It's like a number of steps. Okay, so she'll be in a few seconds. But drop me a line. In fact, I'm going to pull up the live stream on my phone. And just let me know how you're doing today. How's your Saturday so far? Happy Saturday to you and your family. I hope that everybody is safe, especially during these times. Things are not the easiest. And so I hope that you are well. And I'm glad to just be here and hanging out with you. For those that's been hanging out with me since last night, oh my goodness, we've been cracking up. And here she is, Jenna.
Hey,
What's up, Jenna?
how's it going?
Well, everything is well, even better now because we are hanging out.
Good, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's all good. So, yeah, I'm actually on Facebook right now, and I was just kind of talking to the people about just even the context of our conversation. Uh, that we connected last year for the musical. What we were doing musically together and doing the Indie Irie song, and just that you're a great person. You have a great voice, and I've told you this before.
You're very sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited we get to collaborate again. I was just talking to my mom about it and was like, I wish it wasn't virtual, but I think we're gonna make it really good. So
I know, right? I
I
know.
miss that. I miss
Yeah,
making music with people in person. But
I'm telling you, and I miss making music with people in person, just in the form of a hug and a hello and how you doing. Like,
right, yeah.
oh my
Yes.
goodness,
Well said.
it's interesting though, and that was the other reason why I just wanted to catch up with you, just in general, because mainly, I mean, the musical piece, that's we can knock that out easily in a couple minutes because there's not a whole lot to that. But I just wanted to catch up with you and just see how life was going.
Yeah.
These times, all of us have been just clinging on to what works and what grounds us, trying to get rid of what doesn't, and figure out what those two things are in the process every day.
Yeah.
And so, life has just been really interesting because there's a new norm, and it really. I was saying this to someone the other day, like now, if you're in any spiritual path that's beyond what I would call like fundamentalism, you get to
Mhm.
this place where you start talking about life in different ways. You talk about it as like the life we're living now, and then some people talk about the idea of past lives and future lives and this kind of thing. So when you think about past lives, right, this could not be more of a demonstration of what the hell that would feel like. This could not be more of a demonstration because literally our entire life, the way our whole brain has been wired to this point, that's not the life we're living anymore. Like nothing.
Mhm.
There's not one thing that's the same, you know? Like
Yeah.
so with that, is it's interesting. What I've been just kind of liking to talk to people about is just, with that being said, I know the things that I'm doing to keep me grounded and to help me to adjust to that, and I always just like to see how other people are doing and how things have been going for them with adjusting, you know?
Word. Yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, it goes like this a lot.
Yeah,
Some days I feel like I'm crushing it on the staying grounded and like
right,
and creating something new in this time and space. And
right,
sometimes I feel like I am living in a hole in the ground, like I
right,
just
right.
keep my dirt on.
I'll raise my hand to that. Oh,
Right.
mm, oh,
um, but I have to say, like you were saying, like my spiritual practices are really helpful in that. And music for me is one of those things.
right,
Luckily, although virtual, I've been doing a lot of like singing recordings for different spiritual communities that I'm part of.
nice.
Yeah, and while it doesn't feel quite the same feeling as
Right,
performing live, it like taking time to listen to the music and to practice and to sing and record and put the video together
yeah,
um, always makes me feel better, like
right,
without fail.
right, right,
Even when I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this to do and this to do and this to do,
right.
I have to do this too. And then once I do it, I'm like, oh, well, that was what I wanted to be doing the whole time.
Look, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
This is why I love having these kind of conversations because what you just said is literally the story of my life. Like
Yeah.
it has been the story of my life, living in that way, and honestly, even to this, literally to this moment, this is a demonstration of me doing something that I wanted to be doing anyway, and just utilizing everything I can, taking advantage of what I can to just get with the damn program and do it. The one good thing that I like about what you just said, which to me is something that I'm hearing echoed in. I mean, it's definitely echoed in my sentiments, and I hear it so much in people's sentiments every day. Is that even though it's not like how we would ideally do things or have things, right? What it's offering is an opportunity to learn how to do new things, to learn about ourselves in new ways, to learn how to do the things that we did this way in other ways that's actually going to come in handy when this way is not available, or when we realize, like in some cases, that this way was a little bit more tedious and this just offers a little bit more. And because we were forced past the learning curve, it got us to a place where ultimately, and this is how I sum it up, for all of this stuff, whether it's Zoom or whether it's how we do things out in the community now, if you look at it, instead of looking at it like this is here, this was our thing we were used to, and then this is the new thing. Instead of looking at it like this is here to hopefully replace this, if we just look at it like this is here to add on to it, to add variety. It's not supposed to be this. It's supposed to be something else that we use complementary to this.
Right, right.
You
Yeah.
know, I think it's perspective, right?
Mhm.
Because I mean, how many, this was something I was talking about the other day. How many people's jobs are now set up where they realize that it's actually much more convenient on Fridays to just let everybody have off and just do the meeting on Zoom because everybody was wasting their goddamn gas anyway.
Yeah, by that time of the week. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah, or like in some other people's cases, they're like, wow, wait a minute. I can actually get more done this way because now I don't have to jump from location, location, location to go around for all like I think about the last job that I had was Standard Auto Parts. I worked in an auto parts store and I remember looking at the whole business model at like 18. I was already just like looking at business and just seeing how it was structured. And I remember looking at one of the guys that was a sales representative that would go around to like all the different mechanic shops around the city, and he was the person to try to get them to buy some new things or what have you. It was the customer relations. He had to drive all around the city. If Zoom was available then, where he could just do that, he would have they would have multiplied because of just the ability for him and he was good at what he did. I mean, this was the kind of guy. You ever hear somebody say that somebody's so good they can sell you the shirt off of your own back, or they can sell water to a whale and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he was that good. But I think about the paradigm then, and I think about the paradigm now, and I'm like, wow, here we're forced into something that actually makes this business realize something they never would have realized, and so I just think it's glass half empty, glass half full, when it comes to a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, and in in my own experience and people who I'm close with experience, I feel like there's been everything from the lowest of the lows of people's experience so far in the midst of this pandemic.
Right,
Um, but also some really great new things, like you were saying, being born and added to, and having a kind of a shift of priorities, how we use our time
right,
to
right.
invest in things that we used to be too busy for, and things like that. But even those really low moments, I've been seeing a lot of really amazing things be born from that. And so, like you were saying, I think a lot of it is a perspective, which
Yeah.
is true all the time. But
It's
now we have a
true.
lot of
Right?
extra time to think about it.
So basically,
Yeah.
which segues, that's why I enjoy it. And, we always have, good conversations. Like this is why I was so looking forward to it. Because that's the thing about it. What this time is really forcing us to do is look at life in the way that we have to look at life anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you think about the fact that I have so much empathy, like I have so much empathy for anyone during this time that has lost a family member, that has lost a job, that has even lost a meal, right? Because that's just what I have for humanity. What doesn't break you makes you. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I look at is, like you said, I immediately look at the good. I immediately look at the fact that here we are during a time where people are forced to do things that they've been procrastinating to do anyway and needed a push. Now they don't have a choice. They've been needing to learn how to use this device just a little bit better anyway, right?
Yeah.
Or they've been needing to step over in this direction and take their business and have more of a presence online. Now they're forced to do that. So it's just meaning that we're forced to our greatest good, as they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I like to look at it. One other thing about this time that really excites me is that people have been forced to find themselves in new ways, or find new life pleasures, like new simple life pleasures that make them happy, that are therapeutic for them, or stress relieving for them, or something that allows them to check out of the 24 news cycle. And it might be a revisiting of something they used to do in the past that they now, or a newfound kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that for you that you've experienced or found during this time?
I mean, definitely. I've always liked to be outside and be in nature. But I feel like the amount of walks in the woods that I have taken in the past 8 months is just, and you too?
Yes, and my new nickname for you is Woodwalker.
Yeah, I just and what I'll do sometimes too is I'll like listen to a meditation while I'm walking. So, always got to be efficient. But there's something about walking through nature and seeing the beauty that just exists, and
Right,
being really present in that moment. That is a really good way to break out of, like you were saying, the 24-hour news cycle and
right,
all of the other things that I spend a lot of time thinking about whether I should or shouldn't. But and also moving, just that's one of those things too that like always makes me feel better. If I go
yeah,
for a walk and I get my heart rate up, I feel like just more alive. So, and being in the fresh air is
right.
helpful too. Um,
So So same thing here. I've always been a person who just love nature. I love peace and quiet. I love the beauty of, nature. The beauty I choose to see.
Even now that all the leaves are gone, it's still beautiful.
If I wish, in fact, I might see if I actually can pull it in before we get off of here. I have to show you a picture. First of all, you just described my very last woodwalking experience. My last, really almost my last two, but definitely my last one. My last one was in the woods, all the leaves gone, and me being like, this is so beautiful. And and then before that, same thing as well, but in a place where there was more flowers and more things. And I wound up making two videos out of them. One video is called Autumn Leaves at Brookside Gardens, and it's a place that's out in where is that, like 29, so really like right past the Columbia area. Beautiful garden, botanical garden, these kind of things. I just took pictures of flowers, and what I wound up doing was taking that experience, and I wound up playing Autumn Leaves to it and making it into a video, and then putting all the pictures that I took during this little walk in this video. So now this whole moment was created out of it, and I found a new passion and hobby in capturing images from that, and so
That's awesome.
yeah,
Love it.
it's so cool. So I can imagine like what your walks in the woods have been. I also can imagine that even doing that before, you had a deep experience, but now just because again during this time, this now is your main source of entertainment, of fun, of getaway. I can imagine your relationship with it has probably just gone even deeper for you with it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to describe it. And even there's like a dog park that I walk by on the way, and like seeing all the dogs playing, it's just this like
Oh my God.
unbridled joy,
Okay,
um,
so
which is so exciting.
so I have a request for you, and if it's already there, then I'll just go and I'll check. For me, so I can receive more therapy, can you take pictures during these walks and share them, please? Because like this is what I'm explaining to people every day. We now are becoming our own therapists. We're our own counselors. It's us with us to get us through this, right? And at the same time, while all of this is going on, and while all of the highest science experts and lab technicians are figuring it out on one level, they're figuring it out at the same time that we're figuring it out. We're all figuring it out together. So what that means is that if, and this is kind of how I feel, it's like about myself, it's like if anybody has anything that can bring a smile or a moment of comfort or a moment of therapy or a moment of just checking out into a healthy world, that's not just filled with the whole world is going to fucking hell in a handbasket, right? Then you can tune into my latest my latest picture, or Jenna's dog, the dog that she sees on the walk.
Yeah. No, I that's a good point because I sometimes I like I'm one of those people that forgets to take pictures of stuff because I'm paying attention to it in the moment.
Moment, yeah.
But I'm always like, dang, I wish I did because you want to see it later. And I enjoy also seeing other people's photos of things like that. So
For
I
sure.
appreciate that request. I will try to do more of that. Yeah,
I'm,
right.
because
Hopefully the people won't get too weirded out. I don't think so though. It's just yeah, it's good to remember to see all of the joy that just exists,
oh,
especially when it's harder to find it inside yourself. So
and when it's harder to find it inside of yourself, and when 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you're watching the tube, what's being pumped at you is a completely different concept and agenda and everything. And so that's why I feel like it's like we're all on the front lines. But the beauty for people like us is that, our front line duking it out and warring is just smiling and just telling people I love you. Is it's things that takes energy, but it's positive energy that we're putting out anyway, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm very
So
grateful for that.
yeah, have you the last time we talked, and we were chopping it up, and we were in DC at JoJo's. That was a great convo too, and that's
I've
one
been
thing
thinking about that place a lot lately. That's like something else. I'm like,
I
it's so
know,
much fun.
so much fun. That's
Yeah.
why I've like, I've kind of like bridged the gap, like, okay, I can't be at JoJo's, and yes, I do things at my house, and that's cool, but let's bridge the gap in the middle. Street serenades, like we'll go out there, we'll keep our distance, and we'll keep this thing going and be safe and get ourselves through in the process, right? Because that's my thing. This is why I have so much empathy and why I don't argue with people when it comes to like how they feel about different things, whether it's regulations or whether it's how to wear a mask or these things. Like, first of all, we are all trying to figure it out at the same time. Like, we're literally all trying to figure it out right now at the same time. So what that means is that, for certain people, it means that they feel more safe with their idea of having their mask at this time and doing it this way. Other people, they're like, well, what we know is that with the immune system, if you want to keep it boosted, you can't keep it covered up all the time because then it gets weaker. So if you really want to strengthen it, then and everything in the middle. Everybody's trying. And so I just have so much empathy when it comes to what we're all doing that I'm just like, look, let's just try to be as safe as possible and still keep some normalcy to our life, and most importantly, work together in our various ways as far as bringing all of our talents and all our gifts and all our just smiles and kind words of affirmation, all those things to the forefront so that we can help ourselves to get through this because it's the only way that we make it through this.
Yeah, I mean, especially with mask wearing and things like that, the way I see it is that I'm not doing it for me.
Right.
I wear a mask so I can, if potentially be protecting everyone that I come into contact with. And I think it's that like we need to take care of each other and support each other because we are all going through this crazy time together. It's
Right.
like more the perspective that I think like helps shift it so people
Right.
don't feel like they have to do a thing or they have to do another thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but at least for me, it's like, yeah, I want to care for my fellow humans.
Right.
It's
Right.
crazy.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Such a basic request.
right.
What last time we were talking, I found out that as we were in DC hanging out, that you also worked in DC, and that kind of thing. Of course, everything has changed, so I can only imagine. Um, but yeah, I was just wondering, like, just how is that going for you? Because yeah, I just know that it's a complete flip.
Yeah. I have to figure out what exactly I want to say about that.
I'll
But
say
no,
it.
so I work in a restaurant. I'm a hospitality professional.
Yeah.
And I have been working at Comey for the last 2 years.
Right.
And when all of the restrictions went into place, that restaurant kind of pivoted and they're doing a more casual thing for to go called Happy Gyro, which has been really awesome.
Okay.
And since then, I've actually been helping out at their sister restaurant, Little Sarah, which is a Northern Thai restaurant. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I feel really, really fortunate that
Mm.
we've been doing carry out only since March.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and I really just feel like it's been again it's like a new restaurant, right? Like both of these things
Right.
existed before, but we have to come up with all new rules. And even just this past week we had like a little meeting chatting about how we can help each other better and like streamline a few of the processes because
Right.
even we all miss giving in-person service because that's mostly why we do what we do.
Right.
But I think it's pretty safe to say that none of us want to do that right now because it's not safe and not actually caring for other people, right? On both sides of
Yeah.
the scale there. So trying to figure out the best ways we can care for each other and continue to provide delicious food and like friendly interaction, if only for a moment, right? And
Yeah.
I still have a job, which is incredible because unfortunately, like the hospitality industry is hurting really bad. Yeah, and they've been changing the restrictions and not giving businesses what they need to keep people safe. And so then people are faced with, do I continue to do this and maybe get sick or get somebody else sick,
Right.
or do I lose my job?
Right. 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 Right.
And that's not great either. But I do feel really fortunate to be part of a team that I think is really doing their best to care for each other as we figure this out,
Right.
and continue to care for our guests
Yeah.
while still setting a pretty hard boundary of like, this is what, like my bosses do a great job of like, this is what we're doing.
Right.
We don't have plans to reopen right now because, things are getting crazier.
Let me tell you,
Um,
thank you for sharing that with me.
yeah.
I'm so glad to hear, that you've been fortunate, especially with that, because not everybody can say that. I'm glad how it's been going. Like you said, I'm glad how you all are working together. I'm glad that it's hanging in there. Let me tell you probably the biggest piece of advice that I could tell you to take back to the most highest position person in the company to take everything that they're doing and explode it to the next level. Okay, every single business on the face of this earth right now has the ability to become traditional television. And what I mean by that is usually businesses have to just focus on like one thing, like here, just selling food, and that kind of service, right? But on the back end, believe it or not, because of this time, because of what has happened to the world with this pandemic, every business now in their pivoting has the ability to shift now into total content mode for their customers to not only deliver on the front end, like where you start at the very top and you say, okay, what is this about? It's about food. Okay, you got delivery service, you got those things, but then you step down from that and you start to get more towards a lifestyle brand. Every business on the face of this earth has the ability to put together a lifestyle brand at this point. What the lifestyle brand entails is education, information, inspiration, entertainment, education, and inspiration, right? So if you keep stepping down a ladder, they have the ability to start getting more in on the right brain side of food and that kind of thing. Like not just the left brain, the analytical, like I have to eat and then those choices, but like more on the right side around just the fun of food culture, food of culture. And then you get into entertainment, you get these kind of things. But then you can keep going below that all the way down to like this business should have a TikTok with just fun, silly, entertaining stuff on there. That's just entertaining stuff about life, joking about this, having fun about that. And the reason why I say that is because right now the whole paradigm has shifted where customers are still there. You still have the attention of customers. You still have that connection that was made, but now you have the ability to serve them in a whole other way because they can't connect with you in the way that they used to, but they still want to. So whatever you are willing to dish out, even if it's what's the name of the company you said it started with a K, the one that you work for again? What is it called?
Well, the restaurant that I used to work for is Comey. I work at Little Sarah though.
Little Star. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's
So even though it is interesting because even though Little Sarah might be about what kind of food is it? What kind of
it's Thai. Northern and northeastern Thai food.
got it. So what they would be surprised to know is that Little Sarah actually right now customers would be willing to watch silly videos or video or information that's about like okay here's what's going on with the latest this. It would be anything. They could literally become an entire network. What that does is it takes what their bottom line was and what the main thing that they relied on forever because that's what the business is. It makes that go deeper because now they could have a deeper impact in people's just personal lives, and people are looking for it because they can't go out for their escape, so they're going more insular, and they're feeding more into the brands that they've already fed into. It just depends on if it's something they're available or not. But if it's available and it's there, they're in. You go deeper and deeper, deeper. The other way I explain this to people is if you find a channel Like when you find a channel on television that not only gives you your specialty, but also while you're getting your food, you also learn a little, you also have a laugh and learn a little bit about the weather and have a little fun listening to the employees be silly and play games and these kind of things. Then you wind up not turning off of that channel because you're getting everything that you would want to get out of life anyway from there. So all that, just that's just me just throwing a big like, here's something that I'm thinking about that I think would be useful, that just for what it's worth kind of deal. And they were like huge. I mean, when I say hugely benefit, I'm talking about food sales out of the wazoo, just because they're, most people right now, the cutoff has been quarantine. It's like, now most of the operations, and then they have this much left, but they're not realizing now it actually, it might be this much on one side, but it's this much as far as opportunity in another area of customer relations, of pouring into customers, of connecting with customers past just the point of sale of whatever the initial point of sale was.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think we're a little bit less on the technological side of it just because that's how
Right.
my bosses have chosen to
Right.
kind of approach it. But we write everyone, lots of people handwritten notes. We have like a wine pairing in different packs, and Kyle, who does our wine,
Yeah.
writes a whole description and like cool fun facts about what's going on like the flashcards on them.
Do you have a
And
TikTok? Do you have a TikTok?
no, no, that's just not going to happen. But like, I appreciate what you're saying
Right.
because I think for a lot of businesses that is true. I just,
I
it's a
get it.
little
I
old
get it.
school. So
I,
like we're making huge strides as far as like getting on Instagram and things like that that have never existed before for
right.
the brand. But I feel you. I mean, I do think that people are spending a lot more time on social media and things like that. So
100%.
it's true.
So so right before we go on to catching up about the music or knocking that out real quick, I just want to people have been enjoying our conversation and hanging out with us. So
Yeah.
amazing. Perla says amazing watching ourselves adapt to hardship. WWE are very shocked that it has I'm sorry, we it said WWE because it was two W's combined. We are very shocked that it has happened to us. You're right, Pearl. I definitely feel you on that. I have a reflection I wanted to share with you on this. Okay, Brian, what's up, fam? Brian says, "What's up, fam?" Woodwalking. He loved woodwalking. Brian says, "Woodwalking." He loved it. Yay, doggies. Brian says. Brian says, "There's an aloneness that is not lonely." Dr. Ernest Holmes. Feel you on that, bro. Hey, Jody, Sherry. Perla says, I believe that one of the causes of this experience is that we stay far from this experience. You're mentioning direct experience of ourselves as nature. Wow, you're right on that. You're right, because that's exactly what it is. We're connecting with ourselves, in that way. Um, Brian says, yeah. Brian says, in each other through that same lens. Perla says, we're behind, driven back. We're being, I think she meant to say, being driven back into ourselves because we are terrified of what is there. Life is integrating all that we've run away from. You're right. You're right. Brian says, wear a damn mask, people.
Thank you.
Perla, this is life. Reflection, introspection, and then looking outward towards others. Notice the trend toward caring for others rather than employers. Ah, I love that. She said it. She said, notice the trend toward caring for another rather than employers exploiting workers. They are considering mutual support. Clients are truly offer support and service, pivoting away from taking advantage of each other to taking care of each other. That's what the fuck I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
that's I think those are the places that are gonna really thrive in this time too. Like
Right.
that's what it's all about.
Right. And Sherry says, yum, Thai food.
I appreciated that very much.
And then Derek, how you doing? So yeah, cool beans. All right, so I know we gotta go ahead and wrap this up. And so I am excited about doing this song. I'm actually gonna do, for those that just jumped in, Jenna and I have, I don't know, we've been known each other for what, 2 years or 3 years, maybe.
Yeah. I think I knew about you before you knew me, to be
Got
fair. But but
it.
yeah, no, I think as far as musically, it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we met at CSL Columbia, one is CSL Columbia, and that Center for Spiritual Living, for those that don't know, Brian Akers, in fact, was hanging out here, and so yeah, we met there, and we actually played some music together there, and we got the opportunity on a couple occasions actually, and I have to say that as soon as I heard Jenna's voice, I was like, yes, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Jenna has a beautiful voice, and so I can't remember the first. Was this? This wasn't the first song we did though, right?
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
we did something else for the previous like holiday
Right.
service or like winter special service. I can't remember what it
Right. But whatever it was.
was. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
It was great. We enjoyed ourselves, and then we got the opportunity to do India Irie's "Prayer for Humanity." I played the piano. Jenna was the soloist, and then there were other people that was a part of the ensemble. In fact, that might even be here. Um, my,
Felicia helped with that. I mean, and that was even before I had heard her sing much. And
okay.
then I was like, oh my gosh, she's saying backup for me? That's not right. But amazing. She's done that for me a couple of times. And I hope to also be able to return that favor at some point.
Right.
It's amazing to be surrounded by such talent. Um,
Right. So that was a lot of fun. And so you all are doing, what is this, the is this the annual
yeah.
holiday service?
Yeah, the candle lighting celebration. So and I'm sure it'll look a little different this year, but that's all a surprise to me too. I said yes to doing a musical performance, but like who knows what else what else will happen.
I like how you said it'll look a little different.
A little different. Yeah, it'll
Right.
probably look a little different.
I used to have this saying where I would say a whole lot bit, like
A
it's
whole lot bit. Yeah, that's
this,
probably more accurate than
yeah. I think one of my favorite. So I've been I think this might be year three that I've been able to be a part of it in some capacity. The last 2 years. Yeah, I was a part of the service, and we got a chance to share, and it was a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of fun. I mean, for me, just being with people and sharing music and good vibes and all that kind of stuff is good. So
for sure. I think I
yeah,
can probably speak on behalf of all the people who've been involved in that, and that's why they're like, we need to get Aaron back. We need to get Aaron back. It's such a treat, honestly, to work with such a talented musician. And if
hmm.
you're gonna say how much you like my voice and make me blush, then I get to tell everyone. I mean, like, not that anyone has any doubts of the amazing amount of talent that you possess, but it's really it's an honor. It's a pleasure to get to do that. So I'm super stoked.
Same here, and that's how I felt as soon as I heard your voice. You're a very modest person, and modest recognizes modest. So we both are having fun together. So this is the tune here, and I was just gonna play a couple of seconds of the tune, just for everybody to check it out because this is a beautiful tune, and it's by India Irie, and it's called "Prayer for Humanity." Right now, I'm on YouTube, and you can check it out there. And the name of the project it is on is called Worthy. So I'm just gonna play a couple of seconds. I'm not gonna let it run long for copyright.
That we can learn what it means to really love ourselves. Then we can learn to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. That we can live in harmony, see ourselves as a family. This is my prayer for humanity. That we respect our women and protect our girls. That they feel safe in every corner of the world, that we can live in harmony, see ourselves as a family. This is my prayer for humanity. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I was like, also, full disclaimer, there's no way in any universe that my voice would sound as beautiful as
Ah,
India Arie.
not stop.
But
You know what? I'm about
no,
to.
I mean, she's so inspirational and amazing, and it's why I like to perform her music, because it's a challenge, and
Yeah.
vocally it is freeing. Sherry was just like, I love that you love India Arie as much as I do, and I was like, yes, there's so much connection in her music. I think
Right.
it's like the best church music. Her lyrics are just next level in every way, and I got to see her live
Yeah.
for sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. I don't know how much background noise you're picking up, but there's all sorts of things going on in here too, so sorry.
More background noise, the better. Less people.
Okay, cool.
Right.
We got to see her live in New York, not last summer, but the summer before, and it was seriously the most amazing concert experience I've ever had. So,
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And here's the reason why I can only imagine, because even though I didn't get the opportunity to see her in New York, jealous, jealous, hint, hint. I got the opportunity.
next time you get the invite, I promise. when concerts happen again.
I love it. But I got the opportunity to see her here, and I'm trying to think what was the location? Oh, Rams Head. I got a chance to see her here at Rams Head, right? And when I tell you, it was like she literally. I have a picture. I have a picture. In fact, after this live stream, I'm going to pull it up. I think I have a picture, and I even think I have some video from it. I think I did a little live stream on Facebook. And when you look at the video, all you see is light. Like literally, it's just a big glow of light. It's so amazing. India Arie is and has been one of my favorite artists, for some time, because of her conscious message, and her mindset, and just what she stands for, and that kind of thing. So
Absolutely, yeah.
I definitely agree with you on that. Now, I will let you slide because India Irie is amazing, but your voice is also amazing
Thank you.
too. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So as far as the song and arrangement and that kind of thing, I went back over it. I listened to it again today. It was the first time I had, listened to it in a while, and yeah, pretty straightforward. Is there anything that you'll be doing different with it when you sing it, or are you gonna pretty much keep it like, to the to the song as far as format and arrangement?
I think I'll probably keep it pretty much as close to the original arrangement as possible. Don't pick something that's not broken. But yeah, I think straightforward is good. I know, and we've done it before, so it's funny. I was thinking, like, I'm sure all of those memories will come back too as we start to play with it. But yeah, I think there will be a little like cajon added because Jill really wants to do that.
Okay.
But that'll just be on top of whatever you provide. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that bit of information. And actually, I tagged mom in this post, so I hope she
Oh, good.
gets a chance to see it. Um, but that's cool because I had no idea that she would. Oh, I get a chance to do a musical duet.
Yes. Yeah, she's definitely very excited too.
Oh man, that's exciting.
Oh
Okay.
man, I'm just sorry. I was just peeping at the comments, and yes, Sherry, that would be amazing. And let's all go see India Arie when the world opens
I
back
was
up.
just about to say,
Uh,
can you, did she say something there, or can you read what she said,
yeah,
or
she just said when the world opens up, we're gonna see her together.
yeah, yeah.
And some other things too, but that was the one that I just saw. So
I love it.
I love it too. Makes me happy.
Yeah.
think about think about that as a prospect for the future.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, it is completely possible. In fact, one other thing that Sherry, in fact, you're probably about to see the comments light up when I say this. I'm gonna just say one word, and then the next comment you see, please read it. Sherry's gonna inform you about Clubhouse if you haven't heard of it already,
Oh.
and you're gonna get a chance real soon to be right next to India Irie, right in conversation. Sherry's gonna take it away from there.
I love it. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, but with all that being said, I'm really looking forward to this. And right now, what I'm doing in the background while I'm staring at my phone is I am pulling up a couple pictures on my phone, so that before we wrap up, I can show you a couple of the pictures that I've been taking. That's kind of been a part of my newfound hobby, my quarantine hobby that I
Yeah.
found, and just really excited about it. Um, but yeah, so besides that, are there any other things that just period in life, here forward that you're kind of like their goals for you, like things that like where your head is, like from here forward. Um, you know, I'm just curious, like where you are in life, like what are you working on? What do you if you care to share.
Sure. I mean, there's been a lot of learning and kind of finding new ways to serve the community, and be an advocate for folks that need more advocacy, and just like working towards a more equitable world. And so really been focusing on like trying to incorporate all of that type of work and action and support
Right.
into my life so that it is more integrated and is not like I am living and then I'm doing this thing.
Mm,
That
right.
it's a volunteer opportunity, that it's something that really like fits in with my strengths and my passions and helps other people.
Right.
um I have been, kind of getting more answering the call to more spiritual leadership, I think, and there's going to be some opportunities to really step into that,
Wow.
coming up, and I have decided to say yes to
Yeah.
it.
Look, I
So
the way you breathe it out, I can
yeah,
hear it.
yeah. It's such a funny thing. When the universe is like tapping you, and then it's like, no, really, like this is the thing. And then it appears, yeah, it would be kind of blind not to notice. So I'm looking forward to what that is going to look like, and inevitably more ways, that I'll have opportunity to serve and
Right.
express and collaborate, as far as that goes,
Right.
because I'm sure there's going to be even more than I can imagine at this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Because we're talking about abundance mindset, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what you know to be the ultimate truth, like, about when you activate that, you know.
Right.
So I'm really excited to hear all that. I'm really, really excited. Uh,
Thanks.
yeah, no doubt.
It's so good to talk to you too. It's
The
yeah.
pleasure is all mine. I'm gonna actually show you one more thing that I'm trying to get to. I'm gonna show you
Yeah, yeah.
a couple of these pictures. How's mom doing? She's not on the live stream right now, so I have to ask her through the live stream, and then hopefully she'll comment on the live stream about how she's doing.
Yes, no, I hope so too. I think she's doing pretty well. It's, the good news too is we've stayed, very close. I'm really grateful for my relationship with her.
Yeah.
Um, and while we don't see each other in person as much, and it is behind masks and without as many hugs as I would like, and I'm sure her too, doing well. I think, she's really been helpful in someone to process with when either of us are not having a good day, and lifting each other up when we are. My sister too. I feel so grateful for my family. We've really been supporting each other through this time, and it means the world. It really does. Yeah.
I love it. I can say the same thing myself. And
Good.
that's that's a good place to for us to end on too. Um, I really have been appreciative at how I've gotten closer to the people that mean a lot to me, when it comes to my family members, or my friends, and associates and these kind of things. My relationship with my mother alone, just from March to now, has gone like, man, from here to the moon. And it's just because of during this time, and like you even said, being able to share and talk and help each other. And then we also get a chance to make history and legacy together, as I'm out sharing what I have to help the world to get through this, and she's found her newfound, hobby and passion to help the world get through this.
Yeah,
So
I've
I
been
am,
seeing all of those photos. It's been awesome to see her artwork and see you all together out there for the serenades. So that's awesome.
thank you. So ultimately, what that means is really where we started, which is that, you know, out of this, we're better than we were before this. Our relationships go deeper. We take less things for granted. We cherish our moments more. I am so and I was a moment person before this. Like I know like life is about practicing the present, being in that moment, sucking it up, being there present. But it's forced us to learn how to do that, so we're better with that. I was telling someone else one day, I was like, you know how for years you have to ask children before they eat, like, all right, now go wash your hands. Kids are going to be now looking at parents like, hey, hey, did you wash your hands
Yeah.
before? You
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. That just means, you know what it ultimately means at the end of the day, we're all being more mindful.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So on that tip, I'm going to show you these pics right here. This is what things have branched into for me.
Oh my God.
so so all these pictures are from Brookside Gardens, where I just hung out, and it's just hanging out in my neighborhood and took some pictures there. This has now developed into a passion for taking pictures. I didn't even really take pictures before this, but now I have a new knack, and I see my artistic eye through it. And then
Yeah,
up here in the what you say? I'm sorry.
they're beautiful. That's yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful photo.
This one up here,
Mhm.
in the middle is, let's see if I can zoom in. This one was my favorite picture from that experience that I took.
Mhm.
I made the album cover for that song. I put a song with it and put it all together, made an experience. And so I made a video of it. If anybody hasn't seen it, all you have to do is you can go on YouTube or you can do it on my Facebook page. Just type in Aaron Hill Autumn Leaves at Brookside Gardens, and you'll see a video that shows all this experiences. If we had more time, I would show it here, but I'll just show this. But yeah, these were my favorite pictures from that experience put into a collage.
Mhm.
And then I took this picture um, about a week ago on O'Donnell Street in by Church on the Square. This is Church on the Square downtown. And so I took that. This is a picture I took. I call this Marble Galaxy. I was over a friend's house and took a picture of their marbles up close and just transformed the picture. But the funny thing is, I didn't transform anything. These are actually the marbles. It's just that when you take it to black and white, they then look like planets.
Yeah.
So and then this was another picture I did from that same. This is the same thing, but
Nice.
yeah. And then this I took in downtown Baltimore the other day. Um, and I call this Fire Sky. And yeah, it's just, and this was of a beautiful sunset, and then I added some artistic. This right here I call trees eclipsed in streams. And one of the things I'm having fun with is taking pictures of things where you can't really tell what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's abstract, and
Hmm.
it comes from this right here. Actually, this is actually where that picture came from. This is the first, and I call this range rock.
Nice.
And yeah, so anyway, this is the last picture here. I just wanted to show you.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you. And this was originally a picture of a flower on a friend's table, and believe it or not, behind here is like a big screen TV and a table. But when I played around with it, it made it look like a canvas. So
Yeah. Looks like a painting.
Yep. So that's I just wanted to share with you what I found in this time. This has been so fun. We got all our work accomplished. I can't wait to sing you this song.
Yes.
I'm Yeah, I'm gonna actually when is the date of the event?
So, the actual date of the service is the 18th. So if you are able to get a test by like the 12th or 13th, 12th or
Yeah.
13th, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have it then.
Okay, cool.
So great. Um
Yay.
so this, yeah, this is great. This is great. If you need me for anything, you know how to reach me. And yeah, I can't wait to send it to you, and I can't wait to hear it. And it's gonna be fun. It's good catching up with you, Jenna.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much for having me.
No doubt. It wasn't even having you. It was just hanging out with my
I guess hanging out, yeah. It is fun to be on your platform and be with you.
Thank you. And so I'll say you're welcome as opposed to what I just said. You're welcome. Take care, Jenna.
Yes, you too.
All right,
We'll be
talk.
in touch soon.
Bye bye.